Wake up with insurance news at 6:30 a.m. only on Insurance Alerts. We are India's largest and Asia's second largest, most dedicated insurance news platform. We have a reach to over 1.5 lakh of people, which includes 1.2 lakh of insurance agents from 200 towns. Insurance Alert now spreads to over 20 countries. So you can now download our mobile app from the Play Store, or you can visit our website at www.insurancealerts.com.
Okay, viewers, welcome to Insurance Alert broadcast. I'm Vivek Jain here. Today we have a guest with us, Mr. Rahul Rasal. He is Chief Operating Officer, Future Generali Life Insurance Company. With him, we are going to talk and find out how digital has changed the retail network, bank assurance channel of most of the insurance companies. So let's talk to him. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much for inviting me on the show.
So my first question to you, ki now most of the thing has become digital. Even the retail network, your agents, everybody is working digitally only. So what you see in times to come?
See, absolutely right in what you mentioned that everything is digital and more things will start moving towards digital. In the insurance industry specifically, we did see that there was a lot of face-to-face, in-person interaction because there was some kind of a belief that it is required for us to be able to talk to people in person. And this belief sort of continued over the years because we had the opportunity of doing so. And then suddenly we have the pandemic. The pandemic put us in a no option scenario where there is no option simply to meet people because people didn't want to meet somebody they didn't know. And hence, it accelerated the entire digitization of interaction. Now, digital here is on two fronts. One is leveraging technology and tools to actually interact with people. And let me give you an example. Today, most of our people carry tabs. On the tabs, they have all the information that is required for them to send. On the tabs, they also have tools of interaction which will allow them to connect to people. Today, this interview 2 years ago would have happened with me sitting next to you. And but it is happening today simply across Zoom. And that's a classical change that you are actually seeing happening in front of you. So this tab now has allowed people to, the salespeople to reach out digitally on video like this with any of their prospective customers. So that's where the technology piece comes in, where it has provided the tools. Second in digital and the more difficult piece is the mindset change, the ability to shift your sales process and sales pitch from being face-to-face to being digitally across like this, because it's a mindset. Now, the digital tools have made it easier for people because one, they now have all the information in front of them. They do not need to be shifting those reams of papers they were earlier doing, nor do they have to do everything on rote. Because as I speak to you, next to me is a screen that is actually telling me my talk off. So it has actually made life easier for the salesperson. Secondly, it has taken convenience to the other extreme, where today I, as a salesperson, can talk to you as a prospective customer whenever it is convenient to you, at a place that is convenient to you, and at a time that is convenient to you. So the entire piece that was spent in traveling in a place like Bombay, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, is gone. And it has given salespeople an opportunity to interact with people. So digital has changed us, our entire industry on two fronts. One, the tools that are becoming more and more sophisticated. Secondly, the ease with which now the salesperson can reach out to prospects. And lastly, just to add the point, the entire targeting piece with digital has become more analytical because a lot of emphasis has gone into analytics in terms of being able to recognize who is the most apt person for actually doing a sale to. So it's a combination of convenience for the customer and for the salesperson, two, the digital tools that are available, and three, the analytics built into digital, which allows me to target better, get a salesperson more productive. That's how we are changing today.
But sir, in our country, we have two things. One is India and one is Bharat. do you think this digital uh, will be able to reach Bharat, real Bharat, and will they be able to use it? Even if you can reach them, they are not literate, they don't have much knowledge. How will they use these platforms?
A very fair question. Now, had this revolution taken place only due to the COVID pandemic, what you said would be absolutely true. But I am trying to go back prior to the entire COVID pandemic period. The entire environment, regulatory and infrastructural, has been evolving over the last 10 years. The government has been actively trying to move away from manual dispensation of both information as well as credits into a more digital mode. So clearly, people have started getting used to digital because the government has been forcing it on them in some way. And forcing here is used in the positive sense. So people have started getting used to the whole concept of digital. I have not interacted in the last 1 year with anybody who does not have a smartphone, irrespective of the stratum of society that they come from. So there has been a conscious effort from the environment around us to ensure that people are getting more digitally aware. And now the pandemic has forced two aspects. One, extremely quick evolvement of technology to make the whole digital ecosystem a little more convenient, simpler to understand. And the reach is not being driven by the pandemic. The reach into Bharat has been driven over the last 10 years. So the reach that had been driven by the government is now only being accelerated by the pandemic situation. And I think everybody today realizes that digital is not one of the ways to do, but given the ecosystem around us, the most convenient way to do, and given the pandemic around us, the safest way to do. So people are taking one of these two choices: what is more convenient or what is safe. People like me take both. It is convenient and safe. And hence, I don't see this as a challenge at all. The second piece is the way in which people interact with digital, even the Bharat, or the people in the rural areas is what you mean. The instruments through which they interact, the phones, smartphones, are getting cheaper by the day. So the factor of affordability has been added to ease and safety. And with ease, safety, and affordability, digital is the new normal, if I may use the cliche. That's my view.
Yeah. What about bank assurance? Because mostly bank assurance policies were sold through the branches, the branch people used to sell basically. So what's happening in that front now?
I think if there is one field in the existing entire insurance ecosystem which has, is, and will change dramatically, it's probably the bank assurance space. And let me tell you why. I spoke about three aspects earlier. One is convenience, and I spoke about technology, and I spoke about analytics. In a bank assurance space, and let's assume for a moment a simplistic space, which is there is only one manufacturer. There are multiple in most cases, but still, let's assume there is only one insurance seller to the bank. The bank actually provides you with a closed ecosystem of information about the customers. All the customers of the bank are prospects for the insurance company. Analytics now allows you to target very, very finely in terms of out of the multitude of customers that you have, which are the most prospective customers that you should go for, which basically means you're choosing need and convenience. Now, with the advent of technology, and you could also call WhatsApp as a part of the digital ecosystem, once you have actually analytically decided which are the most convenient customers to target, and you do that because of the set of products that you have. So, what you're doing is you're using analytics to match your value proposition with the customer set and based on certain attributes, their needs. So, that's the most critical piece. You've actually matched the value proposition and the target set. Now you actually bring in the convenience piece. And the first piece of this convenience is communication. Now, today, because of the digital technology that's available to you, banks have apps, insurance companies have apps. plus you have a WhatsApp ecosystem. Now, leaving aside the regulatory challenges of reaching out through WhatsApp, the in-app communication is so targeted today that it actually naturally appeals to the customer because you have matched needs with your value proposition. So this entire piece digitally takes place. The third piece is the actual fulfillment, which earlier used to happen with hundreds of people now going out and trying to meet customers. And there was no matching in between customer convenience and seller availability. But with digital, they can now match this because geography is history.
Yeah.
So I can be placed at any particular location. I can reach out to my customer digitally, choose a time that is convenient to the customer, and accordingly then reach out to the customer. How do I reach out today? I reach out just like you and I are talking today. And the back-end processes of most financial institutions, predominantly insurance companies, have changed to accommodate the conversation and sales pitch digitally like this, but more importantly, the collection of data and fulfillment digitally too. So, for the relationships that we have a clear API interface where once the customer is able to give me an identifier, that identifier is then used to completely transmit data from the bank's ecosystem to the insurance company's ecosystem. So one, the data gets transferred. Secondly, once the data is transferred, the entire underwriting is now digitally driven in terms of analytics and artificial intelligence. Now, the underwriting piece, once it is done, the dispensation or the what we call as the issuance of the policy is typically we can actually do it on the same day. So the pandemic has only accelerated a business model that we had put into place in 2019. Here now we have identification of the customers, we have communication of the customers, we have underwriting of the customers, and we have the issuance of the policy of the customers all done digitally today. Even the issuance of the policy, as in the physical policy which is to go on post, which could not go, is sent across on WhatsApp. From a customer perspective, this is convenient, extremely less in terms of time consumption, but most importantly, safe from an ecosystem perspective. So that's how I think the face of bank assurance 1 year from now will be dramatically different because the evolution is happening today. Bank customers themselves don't want to interact with people, and this was actually happening because most of the banks had pushed their own servicing online or on the phone. It was in the insurance piece which was being looked upon as an add-on and happening through people. So now even that is being pushed into the bank's ecosystem.
Fantastic, sir. It
I'm not
was
able to hear
really
you.
lightning to know all this. And thank you very much for your time. And we'll be in touch with you in times to come to get more updates on how things are changing in the digital form.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. And interacting digitally like this gives me confidence that the future is digital. Thank you very much.
Okay. Namaste, sir.
Thank
you
you.
want to see the best videos of insurance industry and interviews with the CEOs, CMOs, COOs, CDOs of insurance companies, brokers, TPAs, there's only one way you can look it up to. That is Insurance Alerts broadcast channel on YouTube. So you better subscribe to our channel, you visit and get notified with all of our new videos on insurance.